Hi, I'm Lisa from shopgirldaily.com, and I wanted to tell you guys about one of my favorite apps. It's called TinyBeans. My husband and I, we had our first son 2.5 years ago, and we're here in the Chicago area, but we don't have any family in the area. We knew we wanted to share photos with family and friends, of course, but we're not big on Facebook sharing. We didn't want everything we do to be public. So we started looking for an app where we could share privately with family, and we found TinyBeans. So we've been using it for the past 2.5 years, and we absolutely love it. But probably more important than that, our family loves it. Every single day they get photo updates or video updates, and they love that they can leave comments on it, but it's all private. So none of this ever goes on Facebook or Twitter or any of that. It's just between my husband and I, our kids, and our extended family members who are all over the country. So I brought Sarah Jane here from TinyBeans in to talk a little bit about the app, to give you guys a little bit more information. So hi.
Hey,
it's nice to finally meet you after 2.5 years.
It is.
So can you tell us a little bit about how TinyBeans got started?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've done a pretty great job of describing what we do. We are an Australian company who's been going about 5 years.
Oh wow.
And originally it was created, myself and a guy called Stephen O'Young. He wanted to share pictures of his newborn son with his family who weren't on Facebook. And he said he was too lazy to write a blog, but I'm lucky that he is a tech geek, because his idea of being lazy was to build an app that did it for him. And his family loved it so much that he thought lots of other parents would love it as well. And I met him, I just moved from England to Australia and was feeling very guilty about taking my children away from their grandparents, and completely saw the need to keep them in touch and updated as much as possible. So that's kind of the main reason why we started it.
That's awesome, and that's why we use it exactly for that. Who do you find is your primary member? Is it, like you said, parents who have extended family?
Yeah.
Is it, do people share to Facebook also? Because I know that is an option if you want to share extendedly. So how are people using it?
So, the people that come to TinyBeans, when they first sign up, are normally people who are just about to have a baby or have just had a baby, and have heard a lot about how they should probably be more mindful of how they share their children's information. I think one of the big differentiators between TinyBeans and something like Facebook is that all people on TinyBeans own their photos still. Mm-hmm. When you share to things like Facebook or Instagram, they technically own those photos. So that's a huge difference. One of the big things as well that people like is being able to track milestones. But really it's being able to share with family, that's the big thing. Grandparents are probably our biggest fans. They can't get enough. Whereas your friends might, one photo a month is enough of your kids. Grandparents could see 100 a day, and that's what we let them do on TinyBeans.
Sure. And one of our other favorite features, mine personally, is I'm not a big scrapbooker. I don't save photos. I'm really terrible about it. But with TinyBeans, you can download all the photos again after you upload them to the system. So I do that at the end of last year. For my son, I did make an album, but I hadn't saved any of the photos because I'm a terrible mom, so I just went through and downloaded them from TinyBeans, and I had them on the specific day they were taken, so it kind of kept track of everything for me, which made my life so much easier, because I'm just not that kind of mom, honestly. So
well, we made it even easier for you, because now you can print from TinyBeans.
Right.
So there's now the ability, you can just tap a button and we can pull in all the moments that you've shared, across the year, and create an album for them. So we're all about making things like super easy for parents. We don't say don't share on Facebook. People still, people's friends still want to be kept in the loop. It's just they probably don't want to get 50 photos a day. So I think that's the key difference.
Exactly.
But everything we do is about making parents' lives simpler, easier, and enabling them to own their privacy, them deciding how much information they want to put out there and what they're comfortable with.
Exactly. That was so important for us. We just didn't want everything all over the internet. So we absolutely love TinyBeans, and thank you so much for coming in here and doing this with me.
You're very welcome. It was great to meet you.
You too. Thanks.